Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna try to hold this camera fairly steady here and not move too much. I've had complaints about that. Try to make the video as best I can. Anyways, just kind of want to give you an update on the 7-inch build, the long range build that I did, and I've been flying it and definitely been enjoying it. I had a lot of questions on it, what people think, what I think of it and everything. And overall, pretty happy with it. It's definitely different than flying my 5 inches, and definitely different than flying like the really large one that I had. Well, not really large, but larger one that I used to have way back when. It kind of reminds me of it a little bit, except that it flies better. But size-wise, kind of feels like that in the air a little bit. Anyways, I kind of want to give you an update on that and kind of throw something out that I seem to have discovered here with this. So when I first built it, the default tune, if you tried to arm it, you would arm it, and if you gave it just a little bit of throttle, it would try to shoot itself to the moon. So the default Betaflight tune definitely does not work with this particular 7-inch setup. So let me kind of give you a rundown on that, and then I'll run down everything that I did and some other interesting things that I've come across here while I've been testing. So the build basically is, it's an iFlight XL7 V4 frame. I have the iFlight Success X or Success X or Suck X, I don't know how you pronounce it. Anyways, the E version, it's 2 to 6S. It's like 20 millimeter stack. So 20 by 20 stack. So it's nice and tiny, fits in there good. Not really any problems with that. I like the way it goes together. I'm just using the FC and the ESC, not the video transmitter. For the video transmitter, I've got the Unify Pro 32, the larger one there. So that, I really like it a lot. I've got the iFlight long range antenna. It kind of looks like an Axie, but it's like really long. It's like 140, 150 millimeters in length or something. It's huge. Works really well though. For the camera, I have the Foxeer Falcor. Love the video quality in this thing. First time I ever used one of these. I really like it. Looks really good. I haven't flown it like, in like through the trees and stuff to see what the what it looks like there in those situations, but just flying out here in the scenarios that I'm typically going to be flying this thing, definitely looks really good. Colors look nice. Just nice clarity. Looks great. I have a GPS on it. It is the BN 880, the one that's got the compass and stuff. But I don't know that Betaflight actually utilizes that at all. Or maybe it's got a magnetometer. I think it's got a magnetometer in. Anyways, so that's the one I'm using there. And for the props, I'm using Gemfan Tri-Blade 7040, the Gemfan Flash 7040 Tri-Blades. And the motors are iFlight 2814 1100 kV motors. Yes, 2814. Huge motors. So why did I go with the setup that I've got? So I was looking to build a 7-inch, and I've looked at a bunch of different stuff and knew the general kV and the motors that I wanted. And I wanted a lower kV motor, because I'm looking to try to get as much efficiency out of this thing as I possibly can. So I looked at a bunch of different options there, and finding lower kV motors that will work with these is tricky to find good stock on those. It's a lot harder to find them than you'd think. But anyway, so I was looking around, I came across these, and I was like, those suckers are huge. It's way bigger than I need. But maybe eventually I might convert it to a slightly larger one, and then these motors will work great. But then they're definitely overkill, so they won't have any problems swinging the prop. There won't be any issues there. Should be easier to tune. Generally speaking, if you've got a motor that's more capable than the prop needs it to be, it's able to be tuned a whole lot easier from what I've experienced so far. Underpowered motors on or over-propped motors, maybe not really over-propped, but you know what I mean. Anyways, those are a little harder to tune because you just kind of have to do things that you don't typically do. Anyways, so back to tuning. So the default tune does not work at all. So shot it to the moon. So I knew that was a possibility. So the thing that I'd heard, whenever you have something shoot the moon, you drop your PIDs down and try it again. So I did that, still shot to the moon. Dropped them down even more, still shot to the moon. Dropped them even further, still shot to the moon. I mean, they were way down. I mean, I was like down in the 20s or something on P gains. And that was the only one I was messing with, though. And it was still shooting to the moon. So I contacted my buddy Bill, and I was like, dude, have you seen anything on this? Because he keeps up with all these kind of problems and stuff, you know, and he always has something. And so he's showing me back a message about the stuff that was in the tuning guide on 4.0, which I'd read through but really hadn't paid much attention to. And so looked back through there, and sure enough, there's some stuff on there. And so I tried the first thing that they suggested you do, which is lower your PIDs by a third. So I did that, and I put in these settings that they suggested, and it was slightly better. It wasn't trying to take off as soon as I armed, but as soon as I gave it just a little bit of throttle, it still wanted to take off. So that really wasn't it. But I left those in, and there was another section on 7-inch and larger specifically that was dealing with filtering. And so I put that stuff in. Bam! That was the problem. So I was like, all right, I'll take it out. I'm going to fly it. So I took it out, flew it, flew like crap because the PIDs were so low, you know. So I was like, all right, well, let's just find out if I can raise these any. So I tried raising them by a few, no problems. Raised them by a few more, no problems. And I was like, so it was just the filtering. So flew it that way for a little bit, and it was okay. And then I was like, all right, let me see what I can do with this tune. So I kept raising P gains, and wasn't really getting any better. In fact, it was probably getting a little bit worse. So I was like, maybe I need to go back and then like raise D up. So that's what I started to do. I started to raise D up a little bit, and I did that, and I flew it, and it was okay. Then I raised it a little bit more that night, and I was like, all right, I'll take it out the next day. So I took it out, flew it, my video went out. Okay, maybe there's something weird going out. So video went out, came back. Miraculously, I did not crash. I don't know how. I have no earthly idea how. I kept it level enough to keep it from crashing, and the video came back, and then I just kind of flew it back in and landed it. And then I was like, all right, I flew like the rest of the whole pack. I was like, all right, so maybe there's just something weird going on there. You know, I checked everything looks snug and stuff. I was like, maybe it's just a fluke. I don't know, something weird going on. So I was like, let me raise D just a little bit more, because it seemed to be getting a little bit better, but I couldn't really tell, you know, because the video went out, and then I was like, you know, in this weird state the rest of the flight. I was like, all right, let me raise D just a little bit more and do it again. So I raised D just a little bit more, flew it. I didn't get very far at all, and did a little, you know, punch, little flip thing, and video went out again. Somehow I was over concrete. Somehow or the other, again, I did not crash. I have no earthly idea how that happened, but I did not crash. Video came back, and I was like, all right, I'm bringing this thing in to land. So I brought it in and landed it, and I was like, okay, there's something really, really weird going on here. So I'll, you know, check my goggles and stuff, and the battery was okay, lower, but okay. I was like, maybe there's something with the battery being a little too low or something. I don't know. But if that was the case, the goggles should have shut off, and they didn't shut off. It just went to snow. I was like, okay, maybe there's a loose connection. So I'll take it in and check all that. So I took it in last night, took it all apart, checked everything out. Everything was good. All the connections were solid. There's no problems there. There's no problems with any of the wiring. I was like, maybe it has something to do with the tuning, because I had no problems until I started messing with raising the D gain. So I started doing some research, and the only thing I could find was people talking about, you know, a lot of noise getting back into the system and that sort of thing. And then this is running 6S, and the Unify is rated for 6S, but just barely rated, just barely for 6S. It's just slightly over that. So I was thinking maybe some spike got back in there because of the D's being higher and caused it to do that. And I was like, all right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lower the P's back down a little bit. And I lowered I's back down a little bit. I'd raised those back up too. And then I lowered D's back down, actually lower than I had them when I first got it flying. And I just got done flying it here. Punched the crap out of it, trying to get, spikes, doing really hard maneuvers, full throttle punches, all kinds of stuff. Not a problem. So I think the lesson here is your tune can actually cause enough noise problems with your system to send enough of an electrical spike to cause your video to like go out. I'm guessing because it got too much of a voltage or something. I don't know. I'm guessing. It's kind of weird. Because the VDX is running off battery, so it's not being filtered through the FC or anything. So that's my best guess. Then what you think? I don't know if anybody else has seen that or not, but I thought I would share that. Maybe it was just a fluke. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that it wasn't, though, because I flew 2 batteries. I flew them very hard here, punching it out. By the way, I did get it up to 123 kilometers an hour at about 76, 77 miles an hour. Kind of hard to get a good gauge on speed because I don't have real high camera angle, and it's super windy, and I was flying into the wind a lot. So I think I could probably get a little bit faster, but that's not too bad for a cruiser. I don't need to really be going super fast anyways. But anyways, I'm like got the whole squirrel thing. Squirrel. So that's my 2 cents. No flying here for you guys, just me talking. There'll be some footage coming from this thing here soon. I've still got to do the GPS rescue test, and then I've got to actually enable it for failsafe, and I've got to do that test. I haven't done those yet. I've been wanting to make sure everything was flying okay before I did all of that. Make sure it was tuned where I wanted it, all that kind of stuff. And I think I've got it basically where I want it. It flies pretty good. So that will be coming up, and then after I do that, then I'll probably start doing some more videos and stuff with it. Starting to push the range a little bit. Once I start trusting it more and more, I gotta kind of work my way in there, make sure I don't have any component issues, particularly when video goes out. Maybe it was just coincidence that the tune changed and the video went out. I don't think so, though. But that's just my theory right now. Anyways, you guys have a great day. Listen to me ramble here, and I will see you guys in the next video. There will be some more stuff coming also on this whole remote ID FAA thing. I'm still going through and figuring out what I want to, how I want to approach it whenever I send my comments in. I'm waiting on some stuff. Also, I want to see what Bruce said and what the flight test guys, or what their approach is, what they're thinking. Like I said in my last video, I think the approach is some sort of figuring out a compromise type of thing, and suggest those sorts of things. Maybe having different categories of models for hobby. That's what a friend of mine, who I mentioned before, who likes the FAA, that's what he suggested, that we approach it, that you've got, because we fly very differently than in the FPV area. We fly much different than like the AP photography drone guys. They like to fly up high, really far away. Some of us fly really far away, but we typically are flying very low, very close to the ground, very close to the terrain. Even if we're up really high, it's like right next to the terrain, right next to the building, right next to, whatever we're flying around. We like that proximity to that stuff because it looks cool in the video. It's much more fun to watch. It's much more fun to fly that way. So, maybe approach with that. I'm not sure yet. I want to see what they say. I'm still thinking through it myself. But that'll be coming up. So we've got, 60 days or something like that till March 2nd to get those in. So plenty of time. The people that are like, what are you doing? Still evaluating everything and figuring out how I want to approach this. You're just the problem. No, not really. Like I said, the FAA has been looking to control the hobby for 40 years now. So that's nothing new. Anyways, you guys have a great day. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.